M County blames printers for election chaos, but the manufacturer is saying not so fast. The manufacturer of a large percentage of the ballot printers used in Maricopa County in November's election took the county to task for trying to shift blame regarding the chaos that occurred on election day. A 2022 general election internal review dated July 26 identifies the OKI ballot on demand printers malfunctioning at many of the 223 vote centers operating in the county on election day. As a primary culprit, with other issues include the size of the print image projected on the paper, also contributing to the election day problems. On a Friday email to the Western Journal, a representative from the M County Elections Department said that 72% of the polling locations had OKI printers, 25% had Lexmark printers, and 3% had both types. The county's report stated that between 32 and 34% of the ballots printed on election day were unable to be read by the tabulators at polling locations due to various issues related to the ballot on demand printers, but primarily due to the thickness of the paper used. Hours-long lines developed at many of the polling stations as tabulators could not read the ballots being printed. RNC lawyer Mark Soniclar testified at the 2022 Arizona GOP nominee Kari Lake's election challenge trial in December that his team of roving attorneys on election day found these problems occurring in 132 locations, or about 59% in all. The county put the figure at 70 locations last fall, according to WAPO. Given that GOP typically vote 3-1 over Democrats on election day, and the 17,000 votes separating Lake and Hobbs, Soniclar testified in quotes, "There's no question in my mind that had there not been tabulator issues at 132 vote centers, this election would have ended up with Kari Lake winning. And I tell you this, if she doesn't take Arizona back, she's got one more chance with the Supreme Court. If she doesn't take Arizona, she needs to be vice president, because if she's not, she's going to disappear out of the political landscape. Okay, and she has zero experience, and she might not be able to get back in. Okay. The country's 2022 general election internal review findings regarding the OKI printer problems mirror what former Arizona Supreme Court Justice Ruth McGregor concluded in a report she submitted to the county in April. Vote Beat's Jen Fifield reported McGregor had been hired by the Maricopa County Attorney's Office to conduct an independent review of what happened on Selection Day. Yeah, guys. Maricopa County has maintained that there was nothing that should be signaled from its ballot printers would fail on election day in November, causing widespread problems. So based on our tests and for the reasons described in this report, we concluded that the combined effect of using 100-pound ballot paper and a 20-inch ballot during the 2022 general election was to require that the OKI B432 printers perform an extreme edge of their capability, a level that could not be reliably sustained by a substantial number of printers. OKI represented to the report in a May letter to Maricopa County Attorney Rachel Mitchell, writing in quotes, "OKI was disappointed that we were not contacted during the investigation or prior to the public release of the report to provide our input and feedback regarding the printer's performance during the election. We strongly believe that common sense and reason dictated that during the investigation team should have requested an interview from the manufacturer to address the alleged printer performance failures by that manufacturer's printers." OKI took issue with the following statement from McGregor's report, stating in quotes, "Despite the assurances of the manufacturer, many of the OKI B432 printers were not capable of reliably printing 20-inch ballots on 100-pound paper under election day conditions." OKI explained that its manual clearly states the printer as it was configured on election day would only work for up to 80 pounds paper. Therefore, the 100-pound paper the county utilized on November 8th was well out of spec for both the multi-purpose tray and cassettes. They're too thick. The letter continued and said, "As a result, it seems that the true underlying cause of the election issues was human error in the use of 100-pound paper without reviewing the manual and or confirming with OKI that such use was within the specifications of OKI B432 printers." So the pounds is like how many pounds would the paper weigh if it had like an X number of sheets. Okay. And anyways, in quotes, it says, had the county consulted OKI prior to such use, the design specifications would have been discussed and alternatives could have been explored. OKI concluded, your report is not only riddled with factual inaccuracies, but it can now be used by OKI's competitors to discredit and create doubt in the minds of their election officials that rely on OKI printers, causing great harm to OKI as it continues to serve this important key market. You better sue the crap out of the state. You better sue the crap out of the election administrators. Unfortunately, that's just gonna come out of tax dollars, right? It's not gonna get paid for by the DNCs, the people who won the party that won that stole the election. Mitchell wrote back to OKI on June 1st, explaining that she didn't see McGregor's report as placing blame on printers, but rather that the election department unwittingly pushed its OKI B432 printers to the limits of their ability. Mitchell also sought to downplay the election day problems, recounting that only about 17,000 ballots could not be tabulated at polling places due to printer issues of about 250,000 ballots cast on November 8th. They were later counted at the Central Vote Processing Facility in downtown Phoenix. Yeah, there was also no chain of custody where they went from there to the signature scanning station, which is Runback. Okay. Mitchell acknowledged that the voters were inconvenienced by the tabulator printer issues, but it is incorrect to suggest, as some have, that there was a massive failure of printers at vote centers. The county attorney who refuted OKI's assertion that the manual made clear that 80-pound paper was the maximum that could be used. Okay, this looks like it's going to be a repeat. It's very long. We're almost done. Maximum that 80-pound. Hold on, where are we at? 80-pound paper was a maximum that could be used for duplex printing, which means printing on both sides. Saying a more thorough review of the manual or consultation with an OKI representative would have made that clear. On Friday, in a Friday statement to the Western Journal, Lake responded to the printer malfunction issue, saying the McGregor report was never an actual investigation. Their failure to contact OKI, the printer company, makes that quite clear. It was a coordinated PR effort by Maricopa County to absolve themselves of any guilt in the catastrophic failure of 58% of the machines across the county on election day. To clear up the issue, Lake wrote, the county can start with telling us why 4 of the 10 printers they tested suddenly began randomly printing 19-inch ballot images on 20-inch paper during their testing, something that none of the technical experts consulted can explain. She concluded, and then they explained to us how this mass failure in primarily red districts had no impact on the outcome of this election. The Western Journal reached out to Maricopa County late Friday afternoon, but received no response by the time of this publication. Of course not. Of course you're not going to get a response. Katie Hobbs is in charge. She's not going to respond. They don't answer questions. We do not answer questions. Communists do not answer questions, okay?